Hey everyone, my name is Emily Laubel and today I have a special guest. This is a woman that's become my friend and also a business partner, Evi Dixon. And Evi has an incredible background. She has a lot of talents. One of her talents is craniosacral therapy, and she's going to share with us today her experience with craniosacral and Healy and how molding those modalities together has impacted her life, her business, and how it's affecting other people. So thank you so much for being here today, Evi, and I'm really excited to share your knowledge. I think it's really important in this day and age that everybody knows that there are so many options for feeling better, and it's great to have your insights. So thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Emily. I'm happy to be here. And I'm a little nervous because I'm not a very good talker, but I really would like to share my expertise because, yeah, as you said, Emily, it's important that we know that there is so many other methods and means out there besides running to the doctor and so forth. So I would like to tell you a little bit how I came to the craniosacral therapy. It was my firstborn son. He was a happy baby, and he was just really a good fat cheek baby, and then he all of a sudden, it was actually after a vaccination, he developed a really, really bad atopic dermatitis or eczema. And I lived in the States then, and I started going to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician subscribed or prescribed cortisone cream and more cortisone cream and antibiotics, and all it did, it just got worse. It got worse. And then my sister, who is in Austria, and I'm Austrian, said, you need to stop that and you need to go and try other stuff. And before that, we were not sick, so we didn't have to use a lot of medication and stuff like this, but I started focusing on alternative methods. And so I went to she was a healer, I think. She didn't have a doctor title, but she did have a lot of herbs. And so I started seeing her, and then I had another checkup with my pediatrician, and he was putting this down. He said, well, if you want to do something else, just go to these, I don't know what he said, but he was just putting it down. And so I decided never to go to this pediatrician again. And then we moved to Austria. I moved back to Austria, and somebody said, you need to go to this doctor. She's doing craniosacral therapy. And so we went there, and she treated my little baby boy, and it was fascinating. It looked like she didn't really do anything, but it was so fascinating, and it hit my soul and my heart. And I said, I want to learn this. And then it's funny how the world is small, and how when you put out your energy and your frequencies, I got an invitation to start becoming a craniosacral therapy for the first 3 or 4 workshops. And I signed up right away. And so I became a craniosacral therapist because out of need for my little boy. And at that time, I didn't really know if it helped, because with all my focus trying to help this little boy, I tried all kinds of stuff. I went to somebody who just put hands on. I don't think she did Reiki or anything. It was just energy healing. And I used essential oils, and I used all kinds of stuff. And but he really became better. So with the alternative methods, and I think with the craniosacral therapy, he became so much better. And so I wanted to ask you how, all of you who will be listening, how frustrated are you sometimes if you go to the doctor and you have this symptom and he just looks at this one symptom and he prescribes one tablet or one pill, and then you take it and maybe it goes away, but it never really goes away, and you're frustrated because the doctor doesn't really have much time for you, and it's like it is frustrating. And I am so glad that I became a therapist, because when I worked there, I had my own praxis in my own house, and I worked in other praxis with other women together. And most of my clients were people that were frustrated with the doctors because it didn't help. So they tried other methods. And I think that Europe is a little bit more advanced with this. I don't know. What do you think, Emily? I think that here in this country, now I'm back in the States since 2004. And every time I offer my craniosacral therapy, which is kind of I'll explain that a little later. I'm not really offering it. I'm just telling people. But what they always say, well, I can take ibuprofen and then this is good. I don't need to worry about it. It's taking responsibility for your own body is something that is sometimes really tough for people.
I definitely agree with you. I think that most people are looking for a magic pill to fix their issue when the issues are in our tissues, right? And we have to go deep within us to figure out what's going on with this. Anybody can take a book, open it up and say, oh, you have this symptom, take this pill. That's what I learned at my school. And that, there's a time and a place for Western medicine. I do believe we need it, and I'm very thankful that we do have it. But I do believe that there's an over-prescribed, people are overprescribed versus going to the root cause. Well, let's talk about your diet. Let's talk about the kind of air that you breathe. Let's talk about the water that you drink. Are you drinking water that's full of fluoride and chemicals and chlorine? That's going to dumb you down and not make you feel good. Are you eating fast food every day? Are you eating vegetables? And who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with people that are putting their negative energy out around you and into your mind? I believe that all of those kinds of things affect us. And growing up in the United States, I feel that it took me a long time to learn that I have the control, that no other doctor has the control. But I did have to go through something traumatic, unfortunately, well, twice now, once for myself and once with my child in the health realm. But going through the first part for me taught me how to advocate for my child, just like you've advocated for your son. And so I do believe that people need to take their power back. I say this in every video because it's true. You don't want to give away the right to your health to a pill or to somebody's opinion. Because I always say to our doctors, thank you for your opinion. I appreciate your opinion. And then I go home and I do my own research. And if I don't think that their opinion is going to work for my family, then I don't do it. And typically we only go to the doctor for needed situations. So I guess that's a long answer to, what I think. I think people are becoming more enlightened in the United States. I think people are starting to wake up to understand that there are incredible modalities. There's a lot of power within the mind, that our gut, they say, is our gut is our first brain. If your gut is destroyed, then the rest of your body is not going to work. If your gut is destroyed, you're going to be gaining weight, or you're going to be more susceptible to illness, or you're going to grow bacteria in your gut, or if maybe you had a susceptibility to something you received from a doctor, whether it be some type of medication or some type of vaccine. People have different susceptibilities, and it's so important to understand that we are all unique beings. Evi's son is unique in the fact that he was susceptible to what he received, meaning his body had a reaction. And so she did everything she could to help him as a baby. So how is he as an adult? Does he still suffer from eczema?
No. So after I switched to no medication, no antibiotics, no nothing anymore, we are all healthy. We have not been sick at all. And when there's something, a cold or what, we take some homeopathic medicine or something. So it's amazing because I also did other methods. For example, I did vision therapy, kinesiology, family constellation, and all kinds of different methods. And one of my mentors or trainers actually said, what do you want to do? Do you, when you see the oil lamp coming up in the car, what do you do? Do you put a tape over it and keep driving? Or do you take your your car to the shop and figure out what's going on and maybe fill up the oil? What do you do? And I think with going, just taking pills to cover up symptoms is the same as if you put a tape over your oil light, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I would like to explain a little bit, because not a lot of people know craniosacral. Should I explain a little bit what it is?
Yes, please explain it. And then I could share a story with my own. I've only had a couple experiences with craniosacral, and it's a very quick story. I'd love to add that at the end, and maybe you can add to what I was experiencing. But so yes, please.
Yeah. So first of all, I said before that I usually do not invite people to take or get a craniosacral therapy. I tell them that I have this gift, or I learned craniosacral therapy. Everybody can learn it. And then I am waiting for their response, because I want them to ask me if they want one. That's important, I think, because it's the first step for taking responsibility for your body and the wish and the want to heal yourself or to get better. It might not heal you, but it will get better. Now, the craniosacral therapy cannot do any harm. So craniosacral therapy, I started out actually with craniosacral osteopathy, and it's pretty much the same, but you have to be aware that it is a very non-manipulative method. So there's a lot of people out there who are doctors, physiotherapists, massage therapists, and they get 1 week of craniosacral therapy taught to them. And I think it is really, really difficult to switch from fix me to let the body react. So when I work with somebody with craniosacral therapy, I am not doing much. I am just mirroring what is happening in the body by feeling into the system, and then the body itself may or may not release what needs to be released or change what needs to be changed. So the craniosacral therapy, craniosacrum is this is the house of our cerebral spinal fluid. So it's the skull, the brain, and all the membranes in the skull, and then it goes down the spinal cord all the way down to the sacrum. And this is where the cerebral spinal fluid is protecting our central nervous system. And it gets built inside our brain in the ventricle system, and then it kind of fluctuates out through the membranes, and it goes through down the spine, and then it comes out all the nerve endings, and it kind of goes into the whole body. And this creates a rhythm in the body. It's actually called the primary breathing, because it starts before we start breathing when we get born. So all the babies in the womb already have this rhythm. And this is my tool. That rhythm or that fluctuation of the cerebral spinal fluid is the tool to listen into the body. And it should, when it's perfect, it has the perfect synchronized rhythm. Every membrane, every bone in your body should move a certain way. And if I feel, when I, for example, sit at the head and I put my hands really, really gentle, like as a butterfly would land on the head, I can feel inside the head and inside the body. And then it tells me that it is either twisted or blocked, or that one side is moving this way and the other one is stuck. And then there's the point where I said, do not manipulate it and kind of try to pull or push. I just kind of mirror what's happening in the head or wherever I am on the body. And so this rhythm is, let's say it goes like this. One side is open and the other side is blocked due to injury, stress, trauma, or whatever. And so I just mirror what's happening in under my hands, and then the body can say, wow, there's somebody who is listening to me, what is wrong or what I need to release. And the whole rhythm, that whole pulsation stops for a while, and then that's called the still point, and it just kind of rests. And then if the body is ready to release that, then it goes and starts up with the synchronized movement in the body. And when I work with the craniosacral system or the cerebral spinal fluid, since it's the central nervous system protection and then it goes out into the whole body, I work with the connective tissue and I work with all the cells. It's the cells in the body that react and that say, wow, this is what I need to resolve. So it's people say it's magic when they lay on my massage table. Most of them fall asleep or go into a trance, and they feel all kinds of different sensations in the whole body. When I work with the sacrum, they might feel something in the spine, in the cervical spine, or when I work on the head or on the diaphragm, they might feel that something in their knee opens up. So we can see with that method in our healing, or in the stress that we are putting on. It's in all of our cells. And that's why I think when you have a sore knee and the doctor looks at the knee, he's missing out on all the other parts of your body that might need healing. And that's why most of the methods that are alternative, like craniosacral or shiatsu or acupuncture or whatever they are, that's the holistic method, and they are taking the whole system and the whole body under in consideration. Yeah, I can also work with the chakras, for example, and they are pulsing the same way as the body too. And
that is incredibly fascinating. So I have a question then. What if you already have this incredible gift, because not everybody can necessarily tap into that just easily. I mean, you have to spend time, right? You have to get to know your own body and yourself in order to do that for somebody else, right?
Yeah, I have a lot of training, so it's not just one weekend that I did, because you need to know the physiology and the anatomy and all this stuff. And I had different trainings for different people, like babies, for example, that were born with C-section, and babies that were born with the suction, and pregnancy, and then for the TMJ, for whiplash, and then one part was the somato emotional release that went more into the organs and into the fascia, and yeah.
So very fascinating. So then how does Healy tie into this? And I wanted to just point out a fact, like you have this incredible gift. Why are you incorporating Healy in with your gift? I think that a lot of practitioners that we work with, some understand this very, quickly and easily. Some are like, oh, I don't want Healy to replace what I'm doing, but it's not replacing it, right? It's not replacing what you're doing.
No, it's definitely not replacing. I mean, people, all the therapists, they don't, if they will want to add a Healy to their practice, it's not going to replace it, but it's going to definitely help with the healing. It's going to definitely maybe show the cells that there is something happening, that we all need frequency. We all, I mean, I cannot do craniosacral therapy in a distance. I don't know about Reiki, and I'm not too fond about Reiki because of different reasons, but I think they can send Reiki to somebody that is not in the house. So like every chiropractor, every massage therapist, every doctor or nurse, they are limited to the face-to-face person and help them. And with the Healy, I can help everybody. And my focus is, besides of course having a business and making an income, but my main focus is to help people feel better and feel healthy and feel the best they can feel, because we are all, with all the bad nutrition that we're doing and all the stress, and especially now all the fear and the uncertainty, we are being loaded down with all kinds of bad stuff. And it's, we need to wake up. We need to do something for ourselves to be, maybe to survive. I'm not sure. I mean, there's so much bad stuff going on right now, drugs and suicide and pain and depression, and this can help so many people to just see a light again. And this is what I want. I just want to spread the word and help as many people as I can. It's just amazing that Healy is just, it was like it opened a door for the world. I don't know.
No, I totally hear what you're saying. It did open a door for the world. And so right now, are you still able to see your clients face to face?
Yeah, I can still, I mean, I work with some people. I either take my massage table to their homes. My home was a little bit confused or cluttered during the summer because my daughter was here with her grandkids. And yeah, there was no way I could do it here. So I'd take my massage table to people, and I'm not renting a room or anything because yeah, I'm a mobile craniosacral therapist.
Oh, you're mobile. Okay, well, that's really nice. Then that is really helpful. So then you can offer another healing modality. That's what I like. I like having lots of options with healing different healing modalities. And that's part of some of my training, is that I've studied lots of healing modalities, and then I can take from each one and bring that into my realm. I'm big into herbs and love herbs, but I also know that Healy helps me clear out some of my pathways and helps me absorb the herbs more. And same with my kids. So it's really fascinating to be able to incorporate craniosacral and Healy in one. And that's why I wanted you to share today, because I think that what your work is really powerful, and people have to realize that there is this out there, and that it is available to you to feel better. So thank you so much for sharing and giving us a background. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
Um, I, I, I don't know. I think it's just important to understand that our Western, as you said, our Western medicine has some importance, but the Eastern medicine or the alternative methods and the holistic methods, that is so big, and there is not a lot of people that want to tap into that because it's expensive. I mean, I don't know about insurance pay and pill pay and stuff like this, how much people would have to come out with their pockets, because I don't have insurance and I don't ever go to the doctor and I don't take any pills. So I have no idea about prices, but I know that it's expensive. And if you go to a therapist, it is also expensive. I think I charge $100 for a session. It's an hour and sometimes longer, because when you go to people's homes, it's just longer because I'm there for them, and I'm not saying, okay, the hour is over, goodbye. And I think it's important to understand that there is so many more other options out there. And maybe I wrote an ebook. Can I mention that here?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I wrote an ebook. It's about 20 or 24 pages long, and I put together the self-healing methods that I and my kids have been using for the last 30 years. Some of them are a little newer. There's one in there that sounds also a little bit weird, but it really helps. It's called Inner Wise. And I explained that it's also an app on the phone, just like with Healy. And it's cards. And my sister has the actual box of cards, which are thousands of cards, but with the app, you have them all on your phone. And you just pick the cards digitally. And then there's other methods, like for your joints, where I did a training for a massage actually, and there's self-help exercises for all your joints, even your little knuckle on your little finger, or your neck, your hips, your knee, your toes. And I put some of these exercises in that book. And then some of it is, what else did I write about? Just law of attraction, for example, how you attract your health and how you can put it out in there. So it's an ebook, and I will offer it for free. If you are interested, you can send me a message and I will send you the link to it.
Thank you. That's wonderful. And it's wonderful to hear that you empowered your children with all of these ways to help the insides feel better, right? We don't, when we look to the outside, we're missing important pieces. So that's sound like a wonderful mother, teaching your children at young ages how they can better balance their mind and their heart. So
thank you. Yeah.
oh, I just had my little visitor come over to me. So that's, yeah, I think that if you are out there and you would like this book, let us know, and we'll be happy to, Evi will be happy to send it to you. I'll be with you in just a second. So thank you so much for being here with me today. It's wonderful to connect with you and all of you out there, and have a wonderful day, Evi.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks for having me, and I'm hoping that this helped you. And yeah, I wish you all the best.